Prime
humanist
Minister
AI.
Modi tomorrow. I wanted to know what can we expect in terms of announcements on your partnership with India, and as India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
I think that with Prime Minister Modi, we firmly believe that India and France are two great powers, and we have a special relationship. We respect and want to work with the US. We want to work with China, but we want to depend on no one. And we have a bilateral partnership on that basis. In defense, with our navies, our fighter planes, technology, major engineering training programs. India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year. So more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. 3, we have a partnership on the environment and the economy. With Mr. Modi, we launched the International Solar Alliance to develop solar energy in our countries and in the world. We also have civilian nuclear programs. So it's a very deep-seated conviction that we want to be independent. That doesn't mean we want to be isolated, but we want to have technologies and partners that we can trust without dependencies. And that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. It's part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. And what brings us together with India, with Japan as well, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and us as a power in the Indo-Pacific.
Back in the day, diplomatic relationships and the quest for power there was a space race, there was a arms race, now there's an AI race. Is AI going to determine who is a global power? And in that context, when you work with India, you and Prime Minister Modi have both talked about strategic autonomy a lot in the past few years. Are you then going to push for tech sovereignty together?
Yes, absolutely, and that's what we're already doing. India, of course, has a much larger population than we do. You mentioned it. It's a huge power, very dynamic on the demographic front. And India and France is leading. So we have the US and China far ahead. And then you have France, the UK, India, the UAE, and then Germany, and the others. So we want to work together on AI. And Prime Minister Modi, you were showing these major companies earlier. Prime Minister Modi is facing the same issues. They're all American, and there's a few Chinese players in that space. And he wants to benefit from the innovation, but he wants it to also be happening in India. Sometimes, if there's non-cooperation with these players, then you need to be able to take things forward on your own. We saw it with COVID. When things go wrong, people look inwards, and that makes sense. If you depend on others to produce medicine or technology, then things can go wrong. So we need that partnership, because we have shared interests and because we have the same worldview, focused on friendship and also interests. So together we will develop technological sovereignty. We want to train our talent, that they can go abroad, but they should also be at home. And we want to create data centers in India and in France with sustainable energy. And we want our own language models in France and in India. We don't want to depend on the US and Chinese models, and we want applications in all fields. So more than a partnership, it's a new alliance. It's a third way forward. There's the US and China, and perhaps Europe, France, and India can be a third way. I believe very strongly that that is the future. And that is why in 2018 I started this Indo-Pacific strategy. And I'm obsessed with one thing, and that is that I want our children to lead better lives than we do. And I want them to have a say in their future. That is independence, that is progress for France and for Europe. And so I believe very, very strongly that we need to fight today. When it comes to our technology, when it comes to our defense, all of these issues, we need to make sure we depend on no